All right, what's going on, y'all? That man down in the building, man. Listen, guys, this is probably gonna be the most important video that I make, and this is some serious stuff. So, what I'm about to be breaking down to y'all in this video is some occult knowledge. And now, they wasn't lying about December, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I literally had a breakthrough, and I just know now. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. Like I just know. So, with that being said, man, if you doing the groundwork right now and you not seeing results, keep on going because you know just because you not seeing the results you want you just because you not seeing the results you expect right away doesn't mean that no progress is being made. You just gotta know when that breakthrough comes and know how to identify it as a breakthrough. You get what I'm saying? And that's literally what I had within the past couple of days is a breakthrough. And now I'm advancing at a rapid speed. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So today, man, I'm gonna be explaining to y'all how Earth is a prison planet. Now, how did I come to this conclusion? I was introduced to Brother Panic probably like maybe 2 3 days ago, and this is when I had my breakthrough. Like I was already making progress, but this is when I had the full breakthrough. So I, I started connecting a couple of dots, and it's certain base, like you have to have certain base knowledge in order to even understand or understand what I'm about to be saying, but you have to have certain base knowledge. So for example, in this video I'm talking about my black people, my melanated people right now. If you're not melanated, you can still watch, but at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with you. But if you want to get the knowledge, you can, just to know, knowledge never hurt nobody. But at the end of the day, this is for my melanated people. Now, I was, for one, I'm starting to my deciphering skills. That's what I've noticed, in my deciphering skills has been heightened, and also I'm able to tap into my subconscious fairly quickly. So I'm able to switch between human consciousness and subconsciousness very fast, if that makes sense. So what brought me to this realization is that when I was watching Brother Panic, he broke down a couple things to me. He said, for one, you have to understand when you watch movies, you have to understand that all movies are about black people slash melanated people, whatever you want to call yourself, identify as in this human body. All movies are about black people, and they're even if they aren't aware that it's about that, they made the movie about you, they subconsciously made the movie about you without them knowing. So if you go up to them and ask them or tell them that you made this movie about black people, they're gonna tell you no. But subconsciously, they may not even know, because not everyone that makes these movies has a side of spirituality to them, but they just take spiritual concepts, aka they take subconscious concepts, and they materialize it into a humanized consciousness of understanding, basically. So what it is that a couple base understandings that you have to have is that every movie is about black people, and also every movie is going to be about consciousness, subconsciousness, and the villain or the problem is always going to be either humanity or humanity or like uh 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 polarity between like your ego and your subconscious. Basically, it's gonna be basically it's different levels to it. There may be a duality, which is like complete opposites, but they want two, basically people that want two different things, or it's going to be a polarity, meaning that the people want the same thing but they're just going about it at two different extremes. So that's the very basics that you have to know, along with a lot of other stuff that I'm not even going to explain in this video. But basically, I'm watching Brother Panic, and along with the advancements that I've been having, I've just been connecting a lot of dots from my past, like just my past interests and things that I've enjoyed in the past, connecting them to things that's going on now, and just stuff like that, man. But so basically, I was watching Brother Panic, and he was talking about this movie. He was talking about this movie called The Day the Earth Stood Still. And now, in this movie, it's about, well, I'm not even going to explain what it's about because this is not a movie breakdown. But what I got from the movie is basically telling you that Earth is not your planet. So, with the understanding that every movie is about black people, understand that they're telling you this is not your planet. I repeat, this is not your planet. He says this in one of the scenes at the kind of the beginning of the film. So I was thinking about that, and then I started thinking about, like, okay, so if Earth is not our planet, what is Earth? So then, I wrote down notes. Here you go. I wrote down some notes. And basically, Earth is basically a alternate. I won't even say alternate. The best way to explain it is Earth is basically a alternate dimension, and is not somewhere we're supposed to be. Now, the Egyptians, they mastered. So another thing that I was thinking about, the Egyptians, they mastered Earth, right? But what you have to understand is that although people want to walk around and claim like Egyptians were just, everyone was super spiritual and everyone was this and everyone was that, only the pharaohs were privy to certain information, such as what happens when you die. And it was just certain sacred texts that only the pharaohs were privy to, which tells you that even back then they had people that were not on the same level of consciousness as the pharaohs and things like that. So that ties into now. Just because you may have some spiritual people and things like that, that does not mean they're, I won't even say worthy, but they're not operating on the same frequency as, say, a pharaoh would, or whatever the case may be, or a highly conscious person would be now, whatever you want to call that person. So what that tells you is that since the Egyptians, they conquered, they mastered Earth, they already figured out everything. They basically beat Earth. So you have to ask yourself, if you're thinking of things from a humanity standpoint, you're thinking of it as, okay, we master Earth once, so why can't we master Earth again? But ultimately, the Egyptians did not master Earth. Only a 1% of the Egyptians mastered it. So what's going on is that the pharaohs, they're ascending to basically black consciousness. I'm gonna just, for lack of better terms right now, I'm gonna just call it black consciousness paradise. You can put whatever label you want on whatever that you want that to be, but I'm gonna just say black consciousness paradise. Basically saying that even the Egyptians were not taking everyone with them when they ascended. So with that being said, with that logic, what we're doing now, you can't think of things from a just a humanity standpoint. You have to think of things as of a saving yourself standpoint. And when you save yourself, you're going to attract frequencies of souls that come along with you. So by subconsciously saving yourself, you're saving others as well. And whoever follows you follows you. Whoever doesn't. They weren't meant to follow you. So where I'm going with this is basically the 1% of the elites, which are, you want to call them white people, whatever you want to, the 1% of elites on Earth, this is their planet, which is why you hear a lot of people say this is it for them, or they say this is, white people, they can't ascend, blah, 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 this is it, yada, yada. This is what they mean by when they say this is it for them. Earth is it for them, which is why they want to keep Earth going for as long as they possibly can, because this is all without Earth. Earth is their consciousness paradise, meaning they're controlling what they want to happen. So if you're thinking humanity was created by the 1% of the white elites. So with that being said, if you're thinking of, if you're melanated and thinking of things from a humanitarian standpoint, you're thinking of things from the 1% of elites consciousness. Basically, you're living in their reality rather than making your own reality and ascending. That's the whole point of ascendance, is to get off of this planet. So with that being said, once you escape the once you escape the humanity standpoint of the human body, because we have human vessels. So our human vessels is gonna want to stay, because our human vessels aren't ascending with us, it's staying on the earth. So why would, you know what I'm saying? It's just common sense. So what you have to do is, in order to beat the 1%, you have to block them out, ignore them, ignore everything that their reality has to offer. So the vaccines, the race wars, even calling them the 1%, ignore all of it. Ignore your own race. As a melanated person, you have to ignore other melanated people that aren't on your same frequency. So when they come to you speaking on a third dimensional term, you have to block them out, because that is not the frequency that you're trying to attract anyways. They're not going to understand you, because they're not supposed to. So basically, man, Earth was created to enslave you, which is why, enslave your subconscious. Not, you get what I'm saying? It was created to enslave your subconscious, which is why they have, the hamster wheel, or time is infinite, things like that. Time is created on Earth. Time is man-made. Time is man-made. Time does not exist. So if you have, it's just, you have to get rid of it all. And when I say get rid of it, you acknowledge it's there, but you don't resonate with it. That's what forgetting it all and ignoring it means. It doesn't mean, oh, it's not happening, it's not happening. It just means you acknowledge that it's there, but you just don't resonate with it. So once I was starting to think about Earth, and then I was starting to think about Prison Planet. I don't know why I feel like I was watching a Brother Panic video and he said something about Earth being a prison, or I forgot how the thought exactly came to my mind, but somehow it did. So with Earth being a prison planet, I connected prison to the TV show Prison Break. And now Prison Break, remember what I said earlier, all movies are about black people. Prison Break, the main character, if you don't know what Prison Break is about, Prison Break is about the main character named Michael. He puts himself in jail to get his brother out of jail. What this is symbolic of, this was mind blowing when I thought of it. What this is symbolic of is the subconscious, which is all knowing. Michael is a representation of you, which is why, and I never understood I was always attracted to smart people. And when I watch TV shows, I'm like, man, he's so smart. Like, he always knows what situation to get out of. And soon as, a problem comes, he's able to solve it, blah, blah, blah. All that is a representation of the subconscious, because you already know everything. You already know everything. You just have to remember that you know everything. So that's why you watch movies. That's why you get knowledge, because all of this is literally jogging your memory. So that's what they mean by DNA activation and the Akashic records and all that, accessing your subconscious, because your subconscious is all knowing. So with that being said, Michael is a representation of your subconscious. And if you know anything about the subconscious, you know that it displays things to you on a physical level through symbols and it's symbols and just storytelling or imagery, or like, so when you dream, for example, the dream, is basically a story. The symbols is, your subconscious can't talk. So the only way for the subconscious to display to the human side of your mind is through symbols. So that way you can decode it on a physical level to understand it on a physical level. That's what finding yourself means. It's basically learning how to decode yourself or understand yourself. You have to understand yourself. So, and the way yourself speaks to you is through symbols and imagery and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I'm missing something. I gotta get my book, man. Where's my? Oh wait, is this my book? Oh yeah, it's right here. Cause I gotta get it right. Oh yeah. So, wait, dang, that's not what I'm looking for. Basically, the subconscious displays things to. Basically, the subconscious displays things to you through imagery. So that's why you see the symbol, or not the symbol. Well, yeah, it's a symbol, but it's a map of the prison on Michael's back. The map represents the subconscious because he already had a layout of the map. And basically, the prison represents Earth. Michael represents the subconscious. Lincoln, his brother, represents human consciousness. So basically, Michael is trying to save his human consciousness and, break out of this prison. Or really, Michael, it doesn't even represent his consciousness. It could just represent I take that back. Michael does not represent consciousness. It just represents, I want to say it represents other souls on Earth, basically, that you're trying to take with you out of Earth. And the guy, I forgot his name, but the detective or whatever is basically humanity. The not the whoever was trying to catch Michael, you know, the guy that was chasing him and then doing all that, that's a representation of humanity, because humanity is always trying to keep you in this, the hamster wheel, sort of say, you know, it's trying to keep you in this time loop that we call Earth. So with that being said, that's the ultimate breakdown of what Prison Break is, the TV show Prison Break. So once you understand that, I was like, wow. And then they came out with a reboot of Prison Break, which they're trying to. It's a subliminal warfare. I haven't watched. I should watch the reboot, but all I know is this. It's about it's about Lincoln. It's about Lincoln. At the end of the, I'm gonna just spoil the TV show because I don't even care. But at the end of the TV show, Lincoln, or not Lincoln, but Michael, he fakes his own death, and basically the reboot is they find out that Michael isn't dead, but when they find him, he has amnesia. And so if you're thinking about this like on a just a third dimensional viewpoint, you're thinking about, why would, you know, what's the point of him having amnesia and things like that? And you could also think, because a normal person would think, why would you put yourself in prison? Now I have another theory, but I'm gonna make this a whole, not even a whole nother theory. I know this for facts, but I'm gonna make that into a separate video. But for now, you'll be thinking like, why would you know, somebody willingly put themselves in prison? And I'm gonna explain why to you in the next video. But those are questions you ask yourself. Why would somebody put themselves? Think of this on a spiritual level. Don't think about it on a human level. Think about it on a spiritual level. So then you would think, okay, why would somebody put themselves into prison? And now in the reboot, why did they show Michael having amnesia? Now remember, Michael represents the subconscious, the all-knowing. Him having amnesia is representative of the fall of consciousness. Basically, him, is he back? I think he is back in prison in the reboot. So that's basically him. Symbolic of him coming back to Earth and him having a fall of consciousness. That's what happens when you come to Earth. You have a fall of consciousness. So that's what that is a symbol of. That's what that is representative of, is basically him having a fall of consciousness. And then it ends up being Michael and some other people trying to break him out of prison. So I may watch the reboot because now that sounds like something I would be probably interested in. But I just wanted to you know, get this message across to you guys that Earth, the main takeaways from this video, Earth is not your planet. So don't try to save it, because it's not yours anyway. You can't save it because it never belonged to us. We were just here to experience it. It's not your planet. And also, you can't save everyone. You only save yourself. So with that being said, if you want to help yourself. But hopefully this message resonated with y'all. Some of y'all, the ones that was supposed to get it, hopefully you got it. And I'm gonna be back with some more videos, man, because I got a lot of information, man, and I'm ready to share it. But it's been that man, Don, and I'm out, man. Peace.